Kentucky Wildcats are with us. Head coach Mark Pope, along with Otega, Oweh, and Denzel, Aberdeen. We're going to ask Mark to make a statement on the game, and then we'll go to questions for all three gentlemen here on the dais. Mark, please.
In regards to the game, I thought Iowa State was terrific. They exert a ton of pressure. They're very disruptive, and certainly they were disruptive with us. They played hard and they played well. They're a good team, and they earned a 2 seed. They did it shorthanded, and so congratulations to them. For us, I'm really proud of our guys. These guys took on a character this year of just dealing with a ton and just trying to stand back up and stand back up and stand back up. And if we were blessed to have another game, I'm sure they would again. And we weren't good enough tonight.
Question right here in the second row. Thank you.
Jenna Lifshin, Kentucky Colonel. For both Otega and Denzel, the final game of your collegiate career. And just with Kentucky, what's your kind of final message to BBN, and overall, if you can kind of reflect on your experience as a Wildcat?
Denzel, you start, please.
First and foremost, I want to thank BBN, Coach Mark Pope, my guys, Otega, all my teammates for allowing me to step foot in the University of Kentucky. And just ever since I stepped foot on campus, they welcomed me with warm hugs. Everybody was positive with me. Everybody was basically like family to me. So I want to thank them. And, we didn't get to what we wanted to get to today, but I'm just proud of each and every one of my teammates, my coaches, BBN, for just allowing me to be here. And I'm forever grateful for them. So.
Yeah, kind of the same thing that DA said. I just want to say thank you to BBN. These past 2 years been amazing. Thank you, Coach Pope, obviously, for bringing me in. We fell short this year, but I'm sure the guys next year are going to come and remember this and get the job done, because playing here at Kentucky, that's what the fans and everyone deserves, is to win. So obviously I'm disappointed that we didn't get it done this year, but these past 2 years have been amazing, life-changing. I'm just thankful for my teammates that I played with last year, this year. I'll definitely never forget it, for sure.
Question on the right-hand side, gentlemen.
Mark, Ben Baby with ESPN, a bucket away from y'all being up 2 at the half. What kind of change in the second for y'all?
Well, we got a little disoriented at the last 8 or 10 minutes of the first half, and that's what Iowa State does. They increase their pressure, and we turned over 12 times in the first half and kind of contributed to our own demise. Credit to them. And then we had their defense ratcheted up in the second half, and we had a tough time finding baskets. More importantly, we had a really tough time getting a stop. They shot it well in the second half. They executed well in the second half. They shot 50% in the second half from 3, and they played really well. So you're not going to win games when you give up 51 in the second half, and there are a lot of reasons why that happened. We just couldn't quite stem the tide there.
Left-hand side.
Coach Sam Lance, Field of 68. That $22 million number that was kind of pinned to you guys at the beginning of the year, I guess, did you see that affect the group at all? And I know you guys had big injuries, but did you maybe learn anything from a resource allocation standpoint from the season?
Well, we've heard so many numbers go around that it just is. We live in a really interesting world. I think that I think we were disappointed that we never got to run with the roster that we thought we had. These guys did an amazing job adjusting. You think about DA came here with one responsibility in mind and one framework for a team, and had to transition through the whole course of the year to be a player that he did not come here to be, and that goes with a lot of guys on our team. We didn't get to play the way that we planned to. We didn't get to play with the personnel we planned to, and all of that changed. And I think our guys raised up, and they made the very, very best of a complicated, difficult situation, roster-wise and health-wise, and I couldn't be more proud of them. Their response has been incredible. So, we didn't get to do anything the way we had planned or constructed just because of health situations, but these guys still left us with unbelievable moments and memories, if not getting to the ultimate goal.
Question on the inside aisle, then we'll go back over here. Go.
Coach, Iowa State's defense we all know about what makes it so. What's their secret sauce, I guess? Because you kind of know what's coming. What makes them be able to thrive the way that they do?
Well, they're unique in the fact of how they push up the boards. They really do. I'm not. It's a real credit to TJ and a real credit to his team. I'm not totally convinced. They have a couple world-class defenders on that team, but that roster is not made up of defensive specialists, aside from maybe a couple guys. But their team concept is really good, and they hide a lot of it by being over-aggressive and by putting you in compromising positions and getting you sped up, and it certainly showed that tonight.
Left-hand side.
Mark, you said it didn't get to have how you planned to play. What was kind of the overall big picture? What did it look? What did you want the plan to look like this year, and kind of what do you want it to look like going forward as far as what your roster and style play?
Well, we thought we were going to have depth and physicality and size, and we felt like we were going to be able to kind of come wave after wave after wave. We knew going in that we were a little bit light at the point guard position, just because of changes that happened in the roster late in the spring last year. So that was the one place we had some nervousness, and then those worries came true. Certainly, with all that said, DA did an unbelievable job, like an incredible job of growing into a high IQ, run the team, lift up the guys, make the thing function. So that was problematic, but and what we ended up with was playing a shorter rotation with guys out of position and guys learning new roles, and our guys were incredible. Like I said, it's clearly not the outcome we're looking for, but under the circumstances with guys playing out of position under that duress, I was really proud of how they did it.
Back to the right.
Yeah, for Otega and Denzel, starting kind of towards that back last half of like conference play, then going to today, what maybe was the biggest thing that kept y'all from being more successful than y'all ended up being this season?
Oh, you're first this time.
I think we just, at the end of conference, we were really just focused on, trying to stack some positive energy going into the tournament. Obviously, we wish we could win every single game, but that's not how basketball works every time. But for us, we were really just focused on, getting better every single game, trying to start off the games better. And I feel like we did a good job of that, actually, towards the end of conference and even going into the tournament. We just didn't do a good job of, doing it for a full 40. But, we live and you learn. I feel like the group next year, obviously, is going to do a good job of responding and, remembering this moment and, just building off of that.
Yeah, kind of like he said, we didn't play fully hard for the full 40 minutes, and we had to do a better job. But I felt like for the most part, we tried to turn it around as much as possible each and every game. I felt like we were improving at that, and we just got to do it for the full 40. But like he said, also, whoever comes in next year, I feel like they're going to make a huge change. They're going to make a huge change for Kentucky. So whoever comes in, I hope they just take it on, play fully hard for 40 minutes, and they're going to get it done, though.
We have about 4 minutes to go. Next question is standing up in the back.
Yeah, Mark, Daryl Bird with the Cats Paws. Outside of those two guys sitting next to you, everybody's eligible to come back in this day of complete roster turnovers. Where do you start going forward?
Well, retention is a big part of this, and we have good young players. You think about it, you're starting a first-year center and a first-year power forward and sophomore two guard, and it wasn't a plan coming into the season, but it's what we ended up with, and those guys have gained some great experience, and they're going to get better and better and better, and so we'll start there and kind of build out from there. We've done this for 2 years, and we'll continue to do a good job at it.
Right here again, second row.
Coach, I know a big part of your mindset when recruiting is players understanding what it means to wear Kentucky across their chest. Do you feel like looking towards the future as NIL and the transfer portal get more and more big and crazy that it's going to be harder to find guys who understand the loyalty and kind of what it means to play for a school rather than just going where the money is? Or do you think you're still going to be able to find guys who are willing to commit to Kentucky with the extent of their career and with the full amount of loyalty that you played with as a player?
I think our focus is finding guys that want to be at Kentucky because of what Kentucky is, and so this is this is the greatest place in the world to play basketball, and it comes with all of this stuff. It comes with all the pressure and the scrutiny, and these guys, Otega's won games in the NCAA tournament back-to-back years, and at any other school that would be good, right? And at Kentucky, the uniqueness of Kentucky is that that's not the answer. And so finding guys that want that, and we can find them. There's great guys. I mean, you think about these two guys up here. Otega put together one of the epic 2-year careers in the history of Kentucky basketball, and Denzel came in here and had to play a completely different position than he's ever played before under different circumstances, and rose up and actually put together a great year. We'll find the guys. There's no place like this, but it's got to be the right fit for guys, and they got to want it. It's, at the end of the day, it'll be all those things are important. Of course, all those things are important. Fit, opportunity, NIL, potential for future growth. All those things are important. But this Kentucky is like there's nowhere like it, and so it's not hard to find guys.
Final question in the back. Go.
Yeah, Mark, you talked earlier about the injuries kind of prevented from playing the way you envisioned. I'm thinking back last year, Kurt Kreese is out, Lamont's out, Jackson breaks his wrist. Have you had a single time where you've put out the team you thought you were going to have in your head?
No, but that's not true. We did early in the season last year. We did. This year we had, I always think of the St. John's, the second half when magically J-Lo came back from getting semi-dislocated in the first half and came back and played those 17 minutes in the second half. But that wasn't really a look because J-Lo never got to practice with our team. And JQ really never got to practice with our team, even when we were trying to roll them out there for a couple games. So we never really got to know each other that way. Listen, it's certainly been made our job more complicated. It's made DA's life more complicated, Otega's life more complicated, made Colin's life more complicated, made Jasper's life way more complicated than it necessarily should have been. It made BG and Malachi's life way more complicated than it should have been. But that's also part of what we do, and I'm proud of these guys, man. These guys gave us everything that they could give us. They didn't give us everything, but they gave us everything that they could give us, and that's something. And they grew close together through great times and through moments of adversity the entire year. And Otega Oweh not only put incredible performances on the court that BBN will remember forever, but he also grew as a man and grew as a leader in his own way. And Denzel Aberdeen brought so much joy to this place. Every single day with a unique competitive spirit and a willingness to try and learn how to do things way different in a different position than he'd done them before. I love these guys, man. It's hard for me to think much past that.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. Best of luck in your futures.